Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, Mess Graphics here. And today guys, I'm going to be showing you how to design a church flyer using Photoshop. So without further ado guys, let's get started and let's start designing. Okay guys, based on the fact that this project will be used for online promotions, I'll be using 2000 by 2000 pixel size, a 200 resolution and an RGB color mode. And with all this selected, I'll head over to create. So right here we have our workspace, and the first thing I'm going to be doing at this point is that I'm going to be adding the test for this project. Okay, so the title for my test is Prophetic and Apostolic Invasion, and I'll select the test and I'm going to be changing the font to Beba Snow. Okay, right. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to head over to my character panel, and I'm going to reduce the tracking value to -25. And then for the leading, I'll be setting the leading to 15. Okay, let me just increase this to be sure of the values I've already added to the test. So let me increase it by hitting Ctrl T. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag this out. Okay, so as you can see, we can see this test clearly now. So okay, let me reduce it a little bit. And then for the test, I'll head back to my character panel, and then I'll reduce my leading to 50. Okay, let me just adjust that till I get the perfect value for it. Okay, so I think I'm okay with this. So it says prophetic and apostolic invasion, and I think I'll just leave this color at black because I've not gotten to the part where I'll get to be choosing the colors for the test. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a shape at the top right here, and okay, so let me just create a line, a guideline here, so that I'll be able to make sure that my alignments are placed at the right proportion. Okay, so with that out of the way, I'll get back to my test, and I'm going to be removing the stroke that encircles the test. So let me just work on that quickly, and then I'll grab my test 2. And for the test that I'll be typing in, I'll be using London, and then I'll increase this, and then I'll head over to my character panel, and I will increase my tracking to 200. Okay, let me increase it to a higher value. Let me use 500 for this, and then I'll reduce the test size a little bit, and then for the test I'll be using white. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce this shape size because it's actually big, and the write-up that we have there is not that big. So I'm going to reduce it using my transform controls. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure the shape and the text is aligned properly. So alignment is one of the design principles I take very serious. I make sure that I align all the elements that I'm using for my project, because it's actually good to obey the design principles. It makes your designs to stand out. So that's what I'm trying to do in this design. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to be adding the theme of the program. Yeah, let me just type that theme. And for this, I'll be changing the color to black. Like I said, I've not gotten to the point where I'm actually choosing colors based on the project. That I'll get to that when I start placing the different backgrounds to this project. So I just decided to start with the test. Later on in the video, you get to know the reason why I did that. Okay, so let me increase the tracking to 1000, and then I'll reduce the size just a little bit. Okay, let me just get it down to 10. And then I'll make sure it's aligned to the test that we also have at the top. And then I'll be adding the theme, which is breaking limits. Control A to select all. Head over to my character panel, and I would be reducing the tracking value to -25. And then I'll be increasing the test size. Okay. Okay, let me just adjust this. Okay. Breaking limits, and then the next thing I'm going to be adding is a shape that will be housing the date for this event. Okay. So let me just leave it at red because I'll be getting to change that later, but let me leave it at red for now. Okay, so I'll be typing in the date for this event. Okay, so I'm going to hit Control A, and then I'm going to be changing the color to white. And then I'm going to be reducing it real good. So Control T again to make sure it's aligned. I'm going to zoom in, and what I'll be typing is the time for this event. Okay, so this is the time. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce the leading for this. Okay, I think I still need to reduce that. So let me just set it to 10. Okay, let me just leave it at 9. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to use Control T to increase this a little bit. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to be differentiating these details by using color. So once I'm done with that, I'm going to create a tiny shape, and I'll remove this stroke. And then for my fill, I'll be using black for now. Okay. Okay, then what I'm going to add next is the venue for this event. Okay, so let me just correct this. Okay, and for the color for this test, I'll be changing it to black. And then I'm going to make sure this is aligned. Okay, so that's why I actually create guidelines in my designs so that I'll be able to adjust and align my text accordingly. So let me just zoom out to check this. So I'm going to just reduce the date and the time a little bit. Okay, so let me just take this up. Then I'm going to be typing in the name of the church. Okay, and for the font, I'll be using Gotham. So let me use a Gotham book. And then I head over to my crafter panel and I'll remove this from all caps by clicking this icon right here. And then for the tracking, I'll be using this to -75. And let me just adjust the tests. Okay, so I think we are okay with this. So that's the name of the church here. Okay. And then I'll duplicate this. I'll change this to presents. So for the tracking, I'll be increasing it to 1000. Let me just type that in manually. And then for the test size, I'll be reducing it. Okay, so we have this right here. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be placing the logo for the church. And then I'm going to reduce this using my transform controls. And then I'm going to place this here. Okay. So I'm going to select this all. And I'm going to group them together. And I'm going to name them write-ups. Okay. So I'll hit Control A. And what I want to do is I want to align this. Okay. So once I'm done with that, I'm going to reduce this a little bit. Okay, so let me just reduce this London test and the shape. Okay, then I'm going to reduce the name of the church. Okay, and then I'm going to align it again. Okay, guys, so the next thing I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to be hiding this layer and we are going to head over to creating the background. So we have this write-ups here, so I'm going to hide this and then we'll get to the part of creating the cool background that will be adding much beauty to this design. So let's work on that. So first I'm going to be placing the map of London and let me head over to my file folder to place that. Okay. So as you can see, we have this beautiful diagram of the London map and it still has the image of the London flag in it. So let me just place it here. Okay. So we have this here. And then the next thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be adding another image. I'm going to be clipping another image to this map. So let me just do that quickly. File, place embedded. Okay, so let me just flip this horizontally. And as you can see, this image has the image of the Big Ben, which is a very popular landmark in London. So for my blend mode, I'm going to be changing this to soft light. And then I'm going to clip it to the map. So let me just do this here. And then the next thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be adding the pictures of the pastors that will be holding this event. So let me just add that quickly. So do want to remember, guys, that all the files that I'm using for this project will be found in the description. I'll be dropping a link to my Dropbox where you can head over to and download all the files that I use for this project, including the font, guys. So let me just reduce this. Okay. So I'll be adding the image of the pastors accordingly. And do also remember that this project is actually not a real project. So I'm just doing this based on the fact that I'm working on a tutorial. So that's why I'm actually getting into much details about this. Okay, let me just rasterize this, and then I'm going to clear this white background on the picture. Okay. Okay, so let me just take this. So these are all stock images that I downloaded from stock sites, and they are not real images. They are not real pastors. So this is just for the project. So I'll be placing the image of the last pastor. And then let me just reduce this. Okay. So let me just take that to the back of the layers. So right here. So guys, I'm trying my best to rush this because I don't want this tutorial to actually take a hell lot of your time. I want to make it short and very, very self-explanatory, so you guys will get to understand what I'm trying to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to group the image of the pastors, and I'm going to reduce it just a little bit. Okay. Okay, so let me just adjust this. Okay. Okay, so I think we are cool with this. And what I'm going to do now for this image is I'm going to head over to Camera Raw, and I'm just going to be adding some little filters to the images, not something much. So head over to Filter, Camera Raw Filter. And for this, I'm just going to be adding little texture to this picture. And then I'm going to adjust the clarity just a little bit. and then I'll hit OK. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to drag these effects to the other images by just holding out and then dragging the smart filter to the next image. And then I'll drag it to all the images. Okay, let me first convert this to a smart object before I can do that. Okay. And then so we have this right here. And this is actually looking cool. And next thing I'm going to do is I'm actually group these images together. Control G. And then next thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be adding a lens flare to this end of the design. So let me do that. File, place embedded, and okay, lens flare. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this. I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees, and then I'm going to increase it. Okay, and then I'm going to drag it to the edge. And so to hide this black area, which we have here, this black background, I'll be changing the blend mode to screen. So as you can see, it actually removed the black background that had the design, that had the lens flare, sorry. So let me just increase this once more. What I just want is the effect on the faces of the pastors. I don't mind if it's not visible enough. I just want that effect on the faces of the pastors. Okay. Okay, so I think this is it. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be creating a layer mask on this map image. And then I'm going to head over to my brush, and I need to make sure that my foreground color is set to black. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to remove some parts of this map. Just fade some parts, not actually that I want. I'll just fade it. And the reason why I'm doing this is because of the test. Remember, we still have our test right here. Remember, we still have our test. So let's not forget that our test is still here. So let me just clear that now. And then I'll move the test. Just a little bit. Okay. So right here. And then I'm also going to be fading this particular image of the pastor. So let me just head over to the image on my layers panel. And then I'm going to create a layer mask. So for those of us that are confused, maybe why your layer mask doesn't work, the reason is because of you need to make sure that your foreground color is set to black. So as you can see, my layer mask is white right now. So if I set my foreground color to black and I take my brush and just scribble it over this area, you notice that it actually fades the image of the pastor. So you must make sure that your foreground color is set to black. But if I want to restore it, I need to switch my foreground color to white, and then I can restore it back. So that's just how it works. So let me just head back. Okay. And then to the map image, I'm still going to be fading a little bit. Okay. Okay, so I think we are right on track. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be hiding this image of the Big Ben, and the reason why I'll be doing that is that I want to select the colors for the test. So that's what I was actually waiting for. I needed to get my colors from the image of the British flag or from the image of this map. That's why I actually didn't select any color. That was actually my plan. So let me just hide the image, and I think I'll also hide the lens flare. And then what I want to do is I want to select these colors, blue and red. So now we can actually add colors to the test. So for this, for the London, I'll be using blue. And then I'm going to be dragging it down a little bit. Okay. And then for the name of the church, I'm going to just take it down still. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to take the right tops once again. I'm going to align this. Okay. So we have this looking very, very good and nice. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be placing lens flare on the test, just to add a nice effect on the test, because I don't want my test looking all plain and all that. So let me just add something to spice it up. Okay. Okay, so remember to take this black background out. What you need to do is to change the blend mode to screen. And then I'm just going to be adding the lens flare. Okay. So for this, you actually can add it anywhere you want. At this point, it's not something you need to stick to a particular law on where to add this. For me, I love to freestyle on where to add my lens flare in a test, because it really adds beauty to the test. Okay, so I think I'm done with this. So let's just zoom out, and then let's add the London image back. That's the image of the Big Ben. I forgot to add that. So let's add that back. Okay, so we've added that back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all this, all the lens flares, and then the right top, and I'm going to group them, and then I'm going to convert it to a smart object. And don't worry about this. Don't worry about this. I'll show you how to solve this. The reason why this is happening is that we created a smart object, and in the smart object, there is no background. So I'm going to tell you guys how to solve this quickly. So for this, we'll head over to our smart object content by hitting on this smart object thumbnail here. And then what we are going to do is that we're going to increase the canvas size, image, increase canvas size. And for our pixels, we'll be going with 8,000 by 8,000 pixels. Okay, so let me just fit this to screen. And then we have this right here. So to fix this lens flare, the issue with the lens flare here, what we just need to do is to create a shape that encircles that area. Okay, we need to change the shape color to white. And then we need to take it behind the group. Okay, so the perfect explanation why that happened is that the blend mode screen normally occurs when there is a background or there is an image or a color at the background. So if you use it on an empty background, it won't actually remove the black background that is around the lens flare. So that's what actually happened. Because if I created, when I first placed it on my design, there was a background behind the design. So when I created the smart object, I didn't create it with the background. So that's why it actually turned back to its original state. So this rectangle that I created around here was something that I used to actually tone that down. So you can see if I hide this, you notice that it comes back. Why if I put this back, it goes off. So this is what we'll be working with for now. So let me change the color of the theme to blue. Okay, let me just change that manually. Okay, and then let's reduce the size more. So for this now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit Control S. And as you can see, once it's done saving, I need to go back to the previous window, or will I just call that my design window? And then as you can see, we have that all set up and looking very, very beautiful. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hit Control T on my keyboard, and then I'm going to head over to the warp icon. And then for my warp, I'll be using wave, and then for the bend, I'll be using 5%. So we forgot to add the lens flare. So as you can see, that actually had a different effect on the image. So let me just add that back. And voila, looking all good again. So the next thing I'm going to do, because I don't want to leave my background plain, and because I'm not a fan of plain backgrounds, I'll be adding an overlay to this to actually make it look more better. So I head over to File, Place Embedded, and I'll be placing this image right here. So with this placed, I'm going to head over to Filter, and then I'll head over to Blur, Gaussian Blur, and then for the blur, I'll be using 29 pixels for my value. So just this, and then I'm going to actually place it above the test layer. Okay, so with this overlay placed here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this, and then I'm going to be adding the image of this of London, the background that has the image of London in it. That's the one that has this image of the Big Ben in it. So let me just place that. Okay, so this is the image that I made. And because of we have these two elements in the same background, that's the image of the Big Ben. What I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this. I'm going to flip it horizontally, and then I'm going to increase it. Okay. Okay. So for the blend mode that I'll be using for this background, I'll be using screen. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to clip it only on that overlay that I duplicated. So you notice you have two overlay background layers. We have this and we have this. I set the blend mode to multiply and then duplicated it. But for the particular one that I'll be clipping this image to will actually be the first one. So let me just clip it. And as you can see, this is looking very, very beautiful. So we're actually almost done with this design, but before we call it a day, I'll be adjusting this up, and then I'll be adding um other touches to this point and this point to this fly, just to make it look cool. So let's do that quickly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this image of the map, and then I'm going to take it somewhere here. Okay, let me flip it, Control T, flip horizontally, and then I'm just going to add it around here. Okay. Okay, and what I want to do is I want to still get this image we have back here, and then what I want to do is I want to duplicate this image and then take it to the new layer that we duplicated. So let's take it here and then create a clipping mask once again, and then I can actually drag this down. So you need to seriously pay attention to this point, because what I'm just doing is I'm just adding the map image to other parts of this design, because I noticed that all these spaces, I just wanted to fill them up. So what I'm just doing is I'm actually duplicating the map image, and then I'm also duplicating this London image that we have that is clipped on the image of the map. So I'll just duplicate that, then I'll just duplicate that now and I'll clip it. So that's what I'm actually doing. But first, let's group this image of the pastors so I can see what I'm doing clearly. So we have this image, this London map right here. So what I'm just going to do is I'm going to duplicate it by hitting Control J, and then I'll take it above this layer. So I'll click this back, and then what I want to do is I want to move it to the top, and then I want to flip it. I want to rotate it. So just something small around here. Okay. So then what I want to do is I want to still duplicate this London image, and then I want to take it up to this one right here, and I want to place it, and then I'll move it to the top where it's actually much visible. So, and then for the test, I'm actually going to make sure it's aligned. So we have this right here, and with all that said and done, I think we've come to the end of this tutorial. And as you can see, this design is really looking nice. I actually enjoyed working on this project, and I hope you guys did too. So guys, if you have any question, do well to drop your questions on the comments, and I'll be willing to answer them. And I'm also willing to give you my contact links where you can actually contact me for if you have a specific question you want me to answer and any clarification you want me to fix. So I'll be willing to answer you. So guys, do well to comment, do well to like, do well to share this video with your friends. And if you are new to my channel, do well to subscribe. I really appreciate it. And also, do not forget to hit the notification bell to get notified each time I drop a new video. So guys, with all that said and done, Mess Graphics out. See you guys in my next video.